Welcome back, everybody, to episode 3 of the Play for Keeps podcast. I'm Cameron Hay at Cameron_Hay on Twitter, and I'm joined by Drew Williams at DopeIsDrew on Twitter. And we're coming off of a big week from this previous episode. I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard it. You guys have seen the shockwaves it sent, so we don't have to rehash it. But we have another special guest this week, another NBA champion.
Yep.
And a guy who's been making shockwaves with his opinions on everything NBA related. Let's just go ahead and introduce him. We have Kendrick Perkins. We're joined by Kendrick Perkins, 2008 NBA champion from the Boston Celtics. How you been holding up, Perk? How you doing?
Hey, Cam and Drew, what's up, man? I appreciate y'all having me on, but look, can't call me by my government, man. We know the code, Big Perk right here.
All right, got you.
I might want to hang up, man, and let y'all give me that introduction again, because that's how I like to be introduced.
My bad, Perk. My bad, G.
Yeah.
But how you been? How you been holding up during this quarantine and everything? You know, everything's been crazy outside. How you doing?
Man, you know, hey, at the day, man, to me, I feel like if you waking up, your family well, you know, you got all your people is good. And if you got income coming in, man, you're blessed. So, you know, a lot of people is going through trying times, but I feel like, you know, we fighting through it. It's a different thing for everybody. So everything is all good on my end. You know, I have no complaints. As long as the fam's straight, I'm straight. Everybody health is all good.
That's all that matters. So
no doubt.
We go ahead and jump right into it. We got some pressing questions we got to ask you, not just about your NBA career, but even further back. I know Drew has a couple questions for sure that we've been interested in hearing from you that we don't think we've heard anybody else ask you or get out of you. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the ball to him and let him get started.
All right, bro. One thing I absolutely have to know about. 02, take me back to the state title game. You played against Bosch.
Yep.
You were a junior, he a senior. They got the number one team in the country, I believe, or definitely number one team in the state. They went for more.
Yeah, there's no more in the country.
Yeah. So take me back to that game. Was there anything you remember, like, really going down in that game? Because I remember you both played very well, and it came down.
Well, I mean, it was, listen, you got Chris Bosh, a McDonald's All-American, ranked, top 5 in this class. You had me as a junior. I was ranked top 5 in my class, ranked number 1 in the nation. We was ranked number 5 in the nation. Both teams, you know, were really good. We still hold a record for the most attendance in the Urban Center. It was standing. Wow. And they beat us, man. They had a better team. You know, he had 2 guards, but we battled, man. We battled. Our stat lines pretty much even themselves out. But they pulling it out. When I look at it, Chris Bosh was a pro. Like, he could have bypassed going to Georgia Tech, went straight to the league. Like, he was NBA ready right then. Because if I was NBA ready, damn sure was NBA ready.
Yeah.
And so when you played against him, going into the game, like, how excited were you going into the game, like, to be able to have that matchup with somebody of Bosch's magnitude? Like you said, he was top 5 in his class, you top 5 in yours. Like, what was your thought process going into that?
It wasn't nothing. Like, I wasn't afraid of the moment. You have to understand, like, I had played against the best of the best at camp, the AAU circuit. So me, that was this was actually my second goal to the state championship. I've been there before. I had just previous year, and so this movie wasn't new to me. Like, before, so I was ready. I mean, you know, the bright lights, man. I wasn't shying away from it, and I was on the mission, and I wanted to see. Like, I wanted to smoke. I wanted to see it.
Right.
So, the game, I actually blocked his 3 shot attempts. He tried to post me up, tried to shoot his turnaround. And I was like, nah, give me that. And he started stretching me out. He was backdoor lobbing, like, you know, it was fun to be a part. It was great. And if you ask him about it, he'll be like, man, one of the best games, high school games that ever been played in the state of Texas.
Definitely.
Facts. And so you, like you said, you were a year below him. He was a year above you. Did that matching up with somebody of his caliber, did it show you another level that you still needed to get to? Or did you learn anything from that particular matchup?
No, not really. I mean, because listen, Cam, Drew, y'all got to understand, man. I broke all the Shaq records as a sophomore.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I was NBA ready. I was ready from the jump. You know, but going against a guy like Bosh, he did add. He did make me come outside my comfort zone because he was more face-up guy. He was a guy that really bang in the post, and he was an underrated shot. He was a guy, I blocked a few of his shots, but he got a few of mine, and he made me add more to my game than just a 1-2 jump hook and a drop step dunk. Like I actually had to add more to it, face-up game and learning how to shoot an elbow shot and things to that nature to prepare me for the big boys league.
Facts.
Definitely. It's funny you mentioned that. You were in one of the final two, I believe 04 was last year.
05, I think.
05. So one of the final few.
Or it might have been 04.
I believe it was 05 actually. Okay. But one of the final prep to pro where they allowed you to jump straight out from, high school and everything. Do you think if you end up going to the University of Memphis like you committed, you think you go higher than 27 in 03? Or do you think at the end of the day you were ready to make the leap and you think you turned out how you should have?
Now, to be honest, man, let me tell you something about Coach Cal. This is what separates Coach Cal, in my opinion, from every other coach in the NCAA. What made me what made me sign with Memphis was that Coach Cal was like, Perk, listen, you're projected late first round, early second round. If you come here, I don't want you for 2 years. I don't want you for 3 years. I don't want you for 4 years. I want you for 1 year, and I'm gonna make you a lottery. Mm-hmm. And so, like for a youngster coming out, man, and his goal is to be an NBA player, my dreams. And for a coach to say that means he got my best interest at heart, right?
Right.
But as coming out of a community, a small country town in Beaumont, Texas, where I was raised by my grandparents. My grandmother was a maid that was pulling in $60 a month. My grandfather cleaned up the church making $300 a month. I grew up on the farm. I was like, man, if I get a first round guarantee, I gotta go. I gotta make it out for my grandparents and put them in a situation. You gotta. I lost my mom at the age of 5, shot and killed by her best friend. You know what I'm saying? So I was raised by my grandparents where we survived. My church shoes, my school shoes, and my school shoes was my hooping shoes. So I had to find a way, and they were my motivation. And so what I did was I the waters to see if I could get a first round guarantee. I only worked out for 4 teams, and I didn't even go to the combine. I worked out for all the Texas teams and the Celtic teams. And I said they all had the late first round picks. And I said, if I see, I'm out. I'm out.
Right.
The thing that messed me up the most was that it was a package deal. I had a guy by the name of Keenan Young that was on my team, and we was both supposed to go to Memphis together. And the only way he was that if I also. And when I decided to go to the league, they pulled this deal back, and he ended up having Duco, which he ended up going and winning Conference Player of the Year and so forth. But other, I don't have any regret.
Yeah. And so, like you said, you went late first round Celtics. Can you describe what those first couple of years in the NBA were like for you? Like how the transition from straight out of high school to now playing against professionals? How big of an adjustment was it?
It was a huge adjustment. You got to understand, man. I'm a country boy coming from Beaumont, Texas, going all the way northeast to Boston. Different culture. Well, down south, man, you got that south hospitality where people are friendly, but it's not like Boston. And I was so country and so excited. I didn't even know about shipping cars. Man, I drove 31 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
I drove 31 hours. But when I got there, the good thing about it was that I had a good group of vets, man, like Walter McCarty and Tony Delk, Tony Batiste, Eric Williams, like that guided me and took me under their wing to show the ins and outs. They was like, look here, young fella, you could go this route, or you could go this route in league in 3 years. And basically what they were saying was, one time I remember practice started at 11 o'clock and I got there at 10 late. And I was like, what you mean, Walt? He was, no, you gotta be here. You supposed to be everyone here. You supposed to be in here. I'm here if you get here at 6 in the morning. And you gotta be the last person to leave. So they installed in me on how to be a professional on and off the court. Before I was making that adjustment on the court, at that time, the game was fit for me because it was hanging. You know what I'm saying? The game was ran through the post. The game was ran through elbows. And at that time, bigs were what made the league. Like now it's a guard and wing driven league. Well, back then, you had to be able to get a bucket on the block. You had to have a go-to move, and you had to be able to play through the elbow and make a move or knock down the elbow shot. So it was good for me, and I had a coach that believed in Jim O'Brien, who gave me an opportunity. He made me sit out because I was overweight, but when I had shape, man, he let me right.
Yeah, thanks. And so your first couple of years go by, and then the offseason of 2007 comes, where you guys trade for Ray Allen, you guys trade for Kevin Garnett as well. What was your thought process when you realized you were going to go from a team, you were going from you guys being a lottery team, to now you're going to be a starter on a contender, like mentally? Like, how did you prepare for that?
Man, as a youngster, I didn't give a damn, right? I didn't see the bigger picture because Al Jefferson was the power forward. I was the center.
Yeah.
And they was building around us at the time. So when they traded for KG, I wasn't feeling that. I didn't. KG didn't like me, and I didn't see the bigger picture. All I looked at it was like, man, I just traded my homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I started to realize people started calling me, and I started watching TV, ESPN. They like, man, the Celtics they about to win a championship, and people like, Perk, you about to win a ring, and I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, man, you got the opportunity to win a ring. So then it set in, but then the disrespect started to, where it's like, oh, they got a big three, but they don't have a point guard in the center. So Rondo and I started calling ourselves the other two because we was always left out of the conversation, or we was doubted until, the playoffs came around and we stepped up in moments like we did, help win games, but we was doubted all the way up from game 1 to game 82.
Yeah. And you speak about you and Rondo, like you were the two young guys on that team pretty much. Like everybody else was a veteran. Everybody else in the rotation was battle tested. They were guys who either had been to the playoffs or had been in the league for a long time. How gratifying was it to be a part of a team like that at such a young age and know that you were a starter? You contributed to one of the greatest Celtics teams of all time. You guys won 66 games and won a championship. Like, nobody expected much out of you and Rondo on that team. Like you said, you guys were always kind of left out, but you guys came up in big moments. How did that feel for you to experience that type of glory, to reach the mountaintop at such a young age and when nobody expected it out of you two?
Man, you know what? That's I was able to play 14 years. Winning that championship was the best thing ever in my basketball career. You can make all the All-Star games you want, all NBA teams, but one thing about it, when you're an NBA champion, man, you are remembered, cherished for a lifetime. I go back to Boston, man, and I have so much, like, I don't even have to move, bro. Like, it's so much love there. Like I told you, I just got off working the Boston network. That's my side job aside of ESPN. Like you could, like, I could go back and start naming years and who won this championship and this year out, and it'll hit you instantly. But if I go ask y'all who was the All-Stars, y'all couldn't think of it at that time. Like, champion, it runs differently. Today I get a call, man, Perk, you got a royalty check coming in every year now. I said, for what? I'm not even playing. Nah, because you won a championship, so your 2008 championship team is always going to be on the video game. So now you get 20 racks every year being a champion.
Wow.
Like, saying that. And then, like, when you get introduced even on y'all guys' show, me coming on the pod today, NBA champion, like, it sticks with you, man, and it carries weight. But I can tell you this, having guys like KG, Ray Allen, Sam Cassell, Posey, PJ Brown, man, they taught me a different, like, they taught me how to build. Doc Rivers be the guy who I am today and be okay with who I was as a player. You know, Doc called me and he said, look, Kurt, you could try to go out here and make an all-star game and mess around and have a 6-7 year career. Or you could be a star in your role and have a 14-year career. Forget the outside world, set screens, roll hard to the basket, anchor the defense, and you're going to play 10 plus. And I listened to Doc. I did that, and I had a successful career plus years. The average NBA career had 4 years.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, people can say what they want. That Perk average 5, all this. I beat the odds.
Yeah.
I beat the odds. Period, point blank. Everyone can't be a chief. You got to have those Indians. So I played my role. Man, I took pride in setting screens. I took pride in anchoring coverage on defense. I think a lot of young players need to know that. You know, be a star in your role, and man, you can have a long career. Look at guys here done. That's why we was having. Y'all know this, Cam Drew. We was having conversations off record. How is Melo not in the league at the time, but a guy like Jared Dudley? Jared Dudley is a guy that knew his role, was starting his role.
Right.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Talk about the different mindset of going from being the young guy with Rondo, and then when you got traded to Oklahoma City, you kind of became the veteran presence in the locker room where they're mostly a bunch of young guys. What do you think you brought with you when you went to Oklahoma?
Man, I brought leadership. I brought the word sacrifice. Man, when I got to Oklahoma City, man, it was all over the place. It was discombobulated. You had this group here, this group of guys hanging out here. You had guys flying in, they brothers, and doing this, and they hanging out on the road with this group. Hold on. We can't win like that. We need to come together. I just came from a team where we all was together. It was in Butu. We on the road and we going to dinner. We 15 on the dinner.
Right.
So that's the first thing I did. The first thing I noticed, and I was like, hold on. That Danny Ainge just traded me. He just traded me to a hell of a situation. When I noticed that I was playing with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, and Serge Ibaka, them young studs, I was like, hold on, I got to take a veteran leadership, and we had to sacrifice.
Yeah.
One together. So what I started doing is, I said, when we got on the road, hey man, look, group dinner at this time, be there. Hey, look, we playing cards in my room at this time. We go watch these games. We got to build this up. We got to count out all the outside noise, all the outside distractions, and come together as one. And that's what I brought to the table. I brought that leadership, that sacrificing. Why force guys to hang with one another? Because guess what? If you know something personally outside of basketball, that shit carries over on the court, and people don't realize it. Because if I know Cam, if I know you and Drew personally, and I get to know y'all about y'all family and stuff like that, when we're on the court, I'm ready to go to war for you in a whole different type of way.
That's right.
Different for you. And that's what I brought to that Thunder team.
That's
Definitely.
a fact. And with you playing, when you got there to see guys like James Harden, Westbrook, KD to become what they've become, like, did you see that for all three of them when you first got there, being there up close and personal? Did you always see this for all three of them?
Yep. Let me tell you, KG called me. He sent me he called me. Said, "What's up, big fella? I'm checking on you. What them young fellas like over there?" I said, "KG, you wouldn't even imagine. Man, these guys are killers and they work." He said, "Word." I said, "Listen, all three of these guys are studs." That's why it didn't surprise me about Kevin Durant MVP. It didn't surprise me about Russell Westbrook becoming an MVP and triple-double. It didn't surprise me about James Harden. And see, what people don't understand is that everybody want to say, "Oh, man, Sam Presti dropped the ball. He should have kept that team together." No, he shouldn't have. James needs his own team, man. James Harden wouldn't be the James Harden he is today if he would have still City Thunder team. And what people don't realize is that when you look at that team that formed, when you looked at that team that the Heat formed, those guys had already accomplished everything. Multiple All-Stars, getting that bag, all that. These were young guys. You asking guys to sacrifice at the age of 22 and 23. Listen, the first thing first before championships and all, the NBA is a job. You need to get your bag first. And think James Harden, since he left and went to the Rockets, he's probably worth, what, $400 million? He would have had in Oklahoma. So everybody keeps saying they couldn't keep. It wasn't meant to keep it together. And I personally have to apologize to James because I was mad at James Harden for leaving. I was pissed off at him because I was like, man, you breaking up our championship. Then I had to think about it like, I'm going to knock this man for going to get his bag. I can't. The NBA is a job. Man, go get your lettuce before anything. Period, point blank.
Yeah. And a lot of people lose sight of that. They think that the winning is the only thing that matters. And, of course, that's important, and it helps build your legacy. But like you said, this is guys' livelihood. This is how they feed their families and take care of their families. So you got to get every dollar that you can possibly get before your time is up. Especially in such a short period of time. You guys only work for, if you're lucky, 10 years, 11 years.
Yeah. You're only in your prime for so long.
Exactly.
You can't ask a guy out on $100 million and $200 million in shoe money and $50 million in body armor. Like, you gotta let that man go eat. And that's what we had to let James go eat.
Right.
Definitely. Another question. I want to talk about, you played in 3 different finals and started for 3 different finals teams. And I want you to talk about how different the mindset was in 08 compared to 2010 compared to 2012.
Well, in 08, it was more so championship, but I mean, like you had this big 3-4 guys in their careers. It wasn't no just making it to the finals and being okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like KG, Ray Paul, they had to win. That was their opportunity. And when you get there, you got to take advantage of it. See, what a lot of people don't understand is making it to the finals. Like, you could get caught up in it's like the Super Bowl. You could get caught up to like, man, I'm actually in the finals. Like the way that the NBA set the stage, like you could forget that you there to actually play the game of basketball. That's why Toronto winning last year was so, like, it was a fun thing to watch. A lot of those guys wasn't on that stage. That's why I Pascal Siakam so much credit, because it's not easy to go on the biggest stage and drop 32 in game 1, 16 of those Draymond Green, right? Yeah. Like, huge stage, okay? But then you look at the Oklahoma City team when we made it, you got to understand, we were young, right? Nobody really knew that the sky was the limit, but we didn't know we really could make it to the finals. And the reason that we lost in the finals was because we were inexperienced. Look at that Miami Heat team. They had just lost to the Dallas Mavericks. They were hungry. They had veterans. Mike Miller, James Jones. Like those guys go down not without swinging. And I think, we never got over that game 2 when LeBron fouled KD on the baseline.
Yeah.
We recovered from that because right then we go up 2-0 going into Miami, and we never really bounced back from that. So I think looking in that situation, we was like, the future is bright. We got more years, but then sudden James' contract come up, and we understand his situation. The rest is history. You go to 2012, when I was with the Cavs, another unfortunate situation. Kyrie goes down. Kevin Love goes down. If though we have both of those guys, we win the championship. I mean, Braun on a tear. Man, Braun was eating these people up. And Kyrie was cooking in that game 1 before he hurt his knee.
Yeah, I forgot 2015 too.
Yeah, man. If we had those guys, man, we walk away with that championship. But things happen. Tim Duncan said it. The great Tim Duncan. Like 20% of winning a championship is luck. Whether that's injuries or whatever the case may be, you gotta have luck.
Right.
That's a fact.
All right. I don't know how much you can tell us, but what is the craziest Kevin Garnett story that happened that you can tell us that you don't think anybody else has heard?
Is this sensitive?
You can say whatever.
You can share whatever you're comfortable with.
So I remember one time, right? We playing the Bulls, the regular season game. So somebody, I forgot, somebody at the free throw line. So I remember it was KG, Joakim Noah on one side, and it was me, somebody else on the other side, and somebody was shooting free throws. And Joakim Noah came with like this old friendly shit. He was like, "Hey KG, man. Hey man, will you be working out this summer trying to get better?" And I'm looking, I'm like, man, he just setting himself up. He and was like, "Motherfucker, fuck you." Just like that, clear cut. So Joakim look at me and I'm like, man, you heard what he said? Like, hey, but it was just crazy because you had a young Joakim Noah thought that like he was gonna tap KG and thought it was gonna be something sweet, something friendly, and KG hit him with a "motherfucker, fuck you." Just no sugarcoating it, nothing. It came just like that. And the look on Joakim Noah's face was like, what? Wow. It was like he just like it was deflating to him.
And so KG, he was just one of them guys. He never turned it off. When he's on the court,
No,
stayed on.
He had some. I used to ask him like, "Dog, do you used to like when you at home? Do you think bars to say like punchlines?" But because like I remember one time we was playing against I want to say the Wizards or somebody, and he was like, some dude was talking noise, and he was like a rookie, and he like turned him around and raised up he was like, "Who are you?" Turned him around and was like looking at his jersey and was like, "Who the hell? What's your name?" Like ultimate disrespect, but like Ticket didn't give a fuck, but he was gonna back it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Damn, like that's how he felt. And I remember one time, like, we was playing Braun and them in the Eastern Conference Finals. So you got Jay-Z and Beyonce there in the goal, sitting courtside. KG get like an offensive rebound, get pump fake. He getting ready to go to the free throw line, and he just started talking shit. He like, "Yeah, ain't no motherfucking rock in the building today. Only motherfucking rock this motherfucker." Up with this shit on the spur, like on the fly, like I, like I'm not thinking to say this right now. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what you learned most from KG? Just like he showed you a different level of intensity you had to come with, or what did you learn most from him?
Man, the thing that I learned the most from KG, dog, besides the hard work and all that, right? He punched in the clock like no other. But the thing that I learned from KG, besides the high basketball IQ on the defense, was sacrifice, dog. That man sacrificed more than any other superstar that I ever played with in my entire career. Like, that was the reason that Boston team was able to work. From day one, came in, and I remember he set the tone. He was like, Paul, Ray, we gonna run offense through you guys, Perk, me, you go focus on the defense. Hey, Doc, if you need me on the bone, the motherfucker, throw it down here, but take a back seat. We all knew that KG was the best motherfucker on this team, dog.
Right.
And he set the tone from the jump and took a back seat. Like you, that don't happen.
No.
That don't happen. Nah, we gonna run it through you, and I think that's part of it. Why still to this day, KG has that beef with Ray because he like, bro, sacrificed a lot for you, and you know that. And see, that's what people don't understand. People be saying, "Oh man, KG childish." Now KG ain't childish. KG sacrificed a lot, and Ray know that.
Right.
So it's different. It's different when you gave up a lot for somebody.
Yeah.
Different prism.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Another question. We're gonna lean into the Lakers. I know a lot of Lakers fans, they feel that they were robbed in 08 not having Bynum. And then a lot of Celtics fans feel that they were robbed in 2010 not having you. If we get that true trilogy and KG doesn't get hurt in 09, how do you think that third, finals?
We run off 3 straight. Right. Our starting 5 never lost when we were healthy. Straight up. We never lost. We were tied on the string, man. And then for people who have doubts, guess what? That same Laker team beat that Oklahoma City team, right? Before I got there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got there.
Y'all beat them.
I broke that shit up. I broke that shit up into that big duo with Bynum and Parker. So I broke that shit up. Period, point blank. People know the real. You heard it straight Kobe Bryant mouth.
That's right. You said you was the best post defender. And so you think how much does that 2010 final still stick with you, knowing you got hurt right before when y'all was up 3-2? How does it still eat at you a little bit to this day?
Bro, the crazy thing about it though, think about this, fellas. That shit, I think that more than I think about the championship, dog. Because one, I was hurt, and I didn't never know if I would reach the finals again. See, people don't understand. Getting to the finals is hard in itself. That's why when people take for granted that LeBron James has been in the finals over 50% of his career and don't get credit for that, people don't understand how hard that is in itself, right?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Think about it. Bro, we were up 14 fucking points going into the fourth quarter. Whether I was playing or not, we was up 14 points, and we blew it, man. We blew it. I think about that to this day. They had the champagne back there by our locker room to start the fourth. I seen it. I'm thinking about this parade we about to have again. I'm thinking about this new Rolls Royce I'm about to go buy with this playoff bonus because I bought a Bentley with my first playoff bonus. I'm about to go buy this Rolls Royce. I'm about to put these clothes on that motherfucker. And we blew the lead, man. I think about that every day in the 08 championship.
So the losses stick with you more than the wins. That's what it.
Because we was 14, man. We had that. We were 14. We had that.
And that was a game where the Lakers dominated the glass in that game 7. Like I remember Kobe had 14 rebounds. I think Powell had double-digit boards.
Yeah.
Like they They couldn't. That's what ultimately won them that game. It seemed like they wore y'all down.
It was a battle of attrition.
It was a battle of attrition. Exactly.
Nobody could get a bucket on either end. You just need to get a rebound, not give up offensive board.
If you go and look at the history of that series, I think whoever won the rebounding game won the game. Like, I just remember looking from the side. It was game 7. Everybody was tired. Everybody in the Staples Center standing up. Kobe shot 6 for 24. They willed the victory. Like, he willed them the victory. Like, as a shooting guard, how you just go in there and grab 14, 15? And I think he probably had 6 or 7 of them was offensive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now that I think about it, even the great Kobe, now that I think about it now, I don't even really get mad. Kind of like, man, I'm glad he got that one.
Thanks.
Straight up.
And so I want to ask you, since you just brought this up with him, like he was 6 for 24, but he grabbed 14 boards. I'm of the thought process of a lot of people view being clutch as just like hitting a game winner, but I look at that as a clutch performance. Like, his shot wasn't falling, and he found another way to have a huge imprint on the game, like you said, willed his team to victory. I look at that as a clutch performance for Kobe. How do you view that?
You see, it's Sunday and you're preaching the gospel. People don't understand. Like, they think clutch is just hitting the big shot. Oh, clutch is what Kobe did. Clutch is what we just witnessed what LeBron did when he locked up Kawhi in the fourth and switched out on. Like, nah, you ain't getting this 3. Like, that's a clutch performance.
Yeah,
right. We didn't see Giannis do that last night when Luka was killing him last night. We didn't see Giannis step up and say, "Let me guard him." So we watched. That's what separate the popular from the powerful, right? These guys, Kobe, Bron, and a whole nother stratosphere of great. Like, it ain't all that bucket. What else are you gonna do when your offense is not going? How can you change the game? How can you impact the game? That's clutch. That's right. You speaking the gospel today, man. Change your lane to, I'm Jakes.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you said it, because it's something that I've always thought. Like, I look at that as one of Kobe's most clutch performances of his career. He's hit a bunch of game winners, a bunch of playoff game winners, and all the huge fourth quarter performances. But that was a game 7 where his team needed anything. They just needed anything, and he gave them what he could, and came out as a champion.
He gave them what they needed. Like I said, check it out, right? Go back and look. The team that won, I think every team that won the rebounding battle. Period. He knew that. We talking about one of the ultimate students of the game. You don't think he knew that?
He definitely
go get 15 boards. He knew that.
He definitely knew. So he definitely knew that. And so I want to pivot a little bit off of your NBA career and into you're now becoming a pretty prominent voice in NBA media. Was this something you always wanted to do after you got done playing, or how did this come about?
No. I mean, you know what I wanted to be? I wanted to be the first. I wanted to be the next head coach. There was a big man that played in the league. The media just kind of fell in my lap, right? I wanted to get out there and let my voice be heard about my knowledge. And I actually got a couple calls about being an assistant coach. But I looked at it like I'm willing to do it. But then all of a sudden, it was like, hey, Perk, you got a unique personality. I never thought a country boy from Beaumont, Texas, would be up there and people want to hear me talk basketball. I'm not up there trying to look up word encyclopedia or dictionary, that I'm not. I'm being authentic. This is who I am. This is what you're going to get out of me. One thing, now I'm actually loving it, because now it's my job. Hell, I watch basketball anyway. So for me to sit up here and watch basketball and go give my thoughts, and you know what I love the best stuff is go out on the ledge and hold predictions and stand one deep. Have people laugh at you now, and then you rub face later, like I'm doing with the OKC Thunder. When I picked them to make the playoffs, and everybody was like tripping. Now they sitting right up here, and now they really a team that a lot of teams probably don't want to first round in the West.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. Like, you got to be fearless, you got to have tough skin, and you can't be biased. But the one thing I can say though, I went about it the right way, because all my brothers that I deal with, majority of them that I deal with, either hooping in the league, that's still hooping, that's coaching, that's GM. I could pick up the phone right now and call them to this day. I dinner with them. They still my home, but they know what job to do. There's only one of them that's got offended about me being in the media, Mr. Kevin Durant. Right? He's the only, but it's all good. Any other people still got my same relationship, because they know, like, bro, I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't gonna be biased. You still my home. Play bad, I gotta talk about you. But if you play good, I'm gonna be the first person to give you your flowers.
Facts.
Praise. Right. And that's part of being in the media. And the real people understand that and understand my job and position that I'm
in. All right. Well, now that we're on to that, I'm going to ask you something about, as an analyst, how do you feel about Luka being announced as a most improved finalist when he was the reigning rookie of the year?
Can't do it.
He was the number 3 overall pick.
It's no way. Like that, and it's no disrespect to the most improved award, right? It's no disrespect. I don't want to come off as disrespect, but like that's beneath him. Like, as a superstar, like, you ain't winning most improved. That's like Tim Duncan, LeBron, Shaq, Kobe, not Kobe, Kobe, D Rose, like all these guys. Kobe didn't win rookie of the year, but like, D Rose, Duncan, all these guys that won rookie of the year, all of a sudden, like, the next year they get most improved. No, after you win rookie of the year, it's like all stars, MVPs, like that
it's
most
of you.
Right.
That's not something that you want in your trophy. And I'm glad Luke kept it 100 after the game and was like, basically he said, like, nah, I ain't in this for no most improved. Like, I'm in this for MVP.
Thanks.
Yeah, Devontae Graham definitely should have got that nod, I think, over him.
He got the same exact story as damn near Pascal Siakam. Both of them played in the G League, came out, and after that they had they next year they balled out. Like, how is he not in that conversation?
That's a fact. Like, a guy like Luka, like you said, once you win rookie of the year, you expect it to become an all-star. You expect, like, everything we seen out of Luka, we expected this. This is what we thought we were gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron,
he done more? Absolutely. Like, we ain't gonna sit up here and say that he hasn't done, he's not playing at extremely high level, and we could have a conversation about him probably being a great 20-year-old, 21-year-old like Magic and Braun. But most improved, nah, dog. That award goes to guys like Devontae Graham, Bam out of the Bayou. Guys like even Sabonis, guys we didn't expect type of years, not guys that you had expected. We knew coming into this year, Luka was gonna be an all-star.
Yeah, right. That's a fact.
But like that's media people painting this narrative that I don't like, and that's why I think we should come up with another plan, right? I think the media should vote for top 10 finalists in every category, and then after that, when you vote for them, the top 10 finalists, then you let the coaches and players pick who they want to pick, but you can't put it on your team. I think that's the perfect solution.
That's fair.
Like with the MVP. But let me ask y'all this. Because I'm gonna have to go in a second. I'm sorry. But let me ask y'all. The goalpost is changed, and the goal moves so much when it comes down to the MVP award. I don't understand it, right? Like when Steve Nash won the MVP, he averaged 15 and 10, dog. Like, He won the MVP averaging 15 and 10. That was the year with Kobe averaging
35.
Playing with like Walker and Kwame Brown, and had his team in the playoffs in the West, bro. Like, that's my thing. Take this person off this team. If you take young Milwaukee Bucks, they still a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
You take Braun off the Lakers, what the Lakers really be?
They probably be around 7 or 8 probably in the West.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying, man. Like that's I said this. Giannis is the most dominant, but he's not the most valuable. It's a difference.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate you taking the time out to chop it up with us, Perk, and come on the episode.
Hey, man, y'all send me the link whenever it come out. I'm ready to see it. Let's get it popping. I appreciate what y'all keep up the good work. Yeah. I'm on first take, and all of a sudden I say, hold on, that's Cam and Drew podcast. I'm trying to take my job or something, bro.
We gonna see you at the top. We gonna see you there.
All right, man. Y'all keep it up.
I appreciate you too, Perk.